Mate, this heat is killing me. Dear friends and followers, welcome back to my channel and lovely greetings from Denton Airport, close to Dallas, here in Texas, USA. I'm in Hangar 1 with this beautiful Beech King Air in the background, which I used to fly actually a couple of years back. Now today we'll be looking at the question, why do passengers always board from the left-hand side of the aircraft? Now to be precise, 99% of all planes are boarded from the left, so we'll also look at the minor exceptions. Secondly, why do you sometimes get asked to not fasten your seatbelts after boarding the plane? And why does the captain always sit on the left-hand side of the cockpit? A video full of great information, so let's get started.
You're waiting for that little Virgin America Airbus guy? I guess. Wow, that's amazing. All right.
Quick announcement, if this video reaches 70,000 likes, I will choose one lucky winner among the comment section and he or she will win a Captain Joe giveaway bag, including a model airplane, a keyring and a new A Good Pilot is Always Learning sticker. So like this video and comment below to win that giveaway. First off the question, why do passengers or most flight crew always enter from the left-hand side of the aircraft? Now, when you walk down the air bridge or up the stairs into the aircraft, you almost always enter through the front or second left door, usually called L1 or L2. Now, there are some exceptions, such as the Airbus A320 and the Boeing 737, which often board through both the front and the aft left-hand door, using mobile stairs to speed up the boarding process. Now, this is pretty familiar with EasyJet and RyanAir, for example. And some regional turboprop aircraft like the ATR-42 and the 72 board through the aft left-hand door only, as often the forward part is for the cargo loading. So we see that the door number can change from aircraft to aircraft, but it is always from the left-hand side of the aircraft which you enter from. Now, the reason is due to many things in aviation related to the maritime industry. And before the invention of the centralized rudder, many old ships were directed by steering oars or boards on the back right-hand side of the ship. Now, the term starboard, which refers to the right-hand side of the ship or the aircraft, comes from the Old English word steerboard, meaning the side from which the ship was steered. Now, because the ships were steered from the right or starboard side, the boat would then dock on the left-hand side for loading and unloading. Hence, the left is called port side. I'm guessing a few aha moments right here. Now, this tradition of loading on the left-hand side has continued into the era of flying boats, where passengers come on board from the left-hand side using the piers and ramps boats had used before until today's modern jet era. Now, this also allows for cargo and service vehicles to attach from the right-hand side so that ground crews and refuelers can do their work without hundreds of passengers being too close to sensitive or even potentially dangerous areas or equipment. Now, the right-hand doors can also be used for wheelchair access lifts if the aircraft is not connected to an air bridge. Nowadays, many airports are built specifically for boarding from the left-hand side, sometimes with even two air bridges above each other to cater, for example, the upper deck of the Airbus A380, or to board first class and business class separately from economy. Now, over time, airlines have established their before flight procedures around the left-hand side of their planes in order to welcome the passengers entering through the forward left-hand door. Now, even the cabin interior is set up to board from the left. For example, on EasyJet's Airbus A319 and A320s, you don't board from the right, sort of narrow galley kitchen. You come through the more wider entrance on the left-hand side. So just look out for that the next time you board one of those orange planes. But as mentioned before, there are a few minor exceptions, such as the MD-80, the Mad Dogs, which has a little centralized staircase with which the passengers enter through the rear of the plane. Also, a lot of military transport planes board or deboard via the rear cargo door. Now, this process of left-hand boarding is similar on cargo planes too, where most larger cargo pallets are either loaded through the huge nose cargo door or the swing tail door, like on the Boeing Dreamlifter. And predominantly on the left-hand side of aircrafts like the Boeing 777 freighter, for example. Again, this is so that the right-hand side is free for service trucks, ground crews, and loading small cargo baggage containers or loose freight packages, which are stored very often in the lower cargo compartments. So now we know why passengers board from the left, but why does the captain always sit on the left too? Now, to be fair, the answer is not 100% clear. Some say it roots back to the time of World War I, because many fighter planes from the early and mid-1900s, like the Sopwith Camel or the famous Wart Corsair, were fitted with radial engines. Now, to the immense torque of their powerful engines spinning a massive propeller clockwise, the plane had a tendency to yaw to the left when power changes were made. And because of this left rolling yawing tendency, the pilots used to prefer making left turns as they were easier to initiate and control than right turns. As they came into land and joined the traffic pattern, pilots tend to make a left-hand pattern around the airfield just because it was easier to control. When two pilot crews became more and more the standard, this meant that the pilot in command would sit on the left so he had a better view onto the airport. Now, besides that, it also helps with traffic avoidance maneuvers. If two aircraft were to be on a head-on collision path, both pilots should turn to the right and pass port to port, which is again a boating rule, meaning to have the other vessel, or in this case the other aircraft, pass on your left-hand side. So by sitting on the left, the captain has a better view of the other traffic in such a case. Now, the last theory is that prior to jet bridges, planes would park at Beeman Airport Terminal to pick up their passengers. Now, as passengers were boarding on the left-hand side, as we discussed earlier, the captain, who is taxiing the plane, would want to sit on the left because to get a better view of his wingtip to not get too close to hit the terminal building. It makes sense, right? If you do disagree, though, please comment below. Now, on to our last question. Why does the flight attendant sometimes tell you to not fasten your seatbelts during boarding? Surely this must be slowing down the departure, right? Well, this is because of aircraft refueling, which is often still in progress on long-haul flights when boarding is underway, or short-haul flights with like minimum turnaround times. I don't have to mention which airline does that. Now, in that case, you'll be asked to not put on your seatbelt because if there's a sudden emergency situation, such as a fire caused by maybe a fuel spill, you as the passenger need to evacuate the plane as quickly as possible. And once the evacuation horn goes off, you want to get off. Now, sadly, most people panic and some forget on how to unbuckle themselves again in such an immediate stress situation. I am serious because tests have actually proven this. So therefore, the ICAO mandates that airlines have specific procedures in place for refueling safety, such as a fire truck on standby next to the plane during refueling with passengers. So be sure to listen to the announcements made on your next flight. Now, for information about refueling, fuel dumping, aircraft fuel systems, check out my other videos in the description box below. That's it for today. If you have any more questions about the boarding process or some other aviation related questions, please be sure to check out my other videos or ask in the comment section below for the chance to have your question answered. Thank you very much for your time. Here's your checklist for today. Subscribe to my channel, check. Activate the notification bell, check. And follow my Instagram account, check. And also today, hit the like button and write your comment for that giveaway. And don't forget, a good pilot is always learning. Wishing you all the best, your Captain Joe. Lovely greetings from, what was this place called again?
Northwest Regional Airport.
Northwest Regional Airport. The sweat is more my problem. It's getting dark quick. I didn't expect this. The aircraft like the Boeing 777. That was bad. Check out my new, shit, I've just had it. Boom, done, well done. Woohoo! Okay, thanks guys, really appreciate it.